Been strung out for days now with the road and the sun. Had to live without a lot of things, and you're just another one. Felt the pain of that heat and that weary stretch of time. Lay to rest on a bluegrass meadow with you on my mind. And you've kept me kicking, and I've been thinking that I'd like to get back to you and see your face in the same old place where you once loved me too. I'm on the road again, thoughts of you and suburbia, glued to the fringes of my mind, on my way to euphoria, thinking of you and your country style of rags and tatters and feeling stoned.
Feel the love take flight. Life is growing deep inside. Mother's joy we can hide. Heartbeat strong. Heartbeat strong and true. Mama always here for you. New life shining through. Together we'll make it through.
Wake up, do you see the day? I am strong, here to stay. I am light, I am free. In my heart there's a key. I am love, I am kind. In this life peace I find. I am brave, I am true. Every day something new. I am powerful, I am brave.
Dreams in your pocket, fire in your soul, a world of potential, it's time to take control. Networks your playground, affiliates your game. With each connection made, you're climbing to fame. Rise and hustle, don't you quit. Persistence is the key, so stick with it. Stay consistent day by day. Patient steps will pave the way. When it gets tough, just persevere. Your breakthrough moment is drawing near. Rejection's not failure, it's a chance to grow. Learn from each no, let your knowledge flow. Build your empire, one link at a time. Your dedication will make your future shine. Rise and hustle, don't you quit. Persistence is the key, so stick with it. Stay consistent day by day. Patient steps will pave the way. When it gets tough, just persevere. Your breakthrough moment is drawing near. Rejection's not failure, it's a chance to grow. Learn from each no, let your knowledge flow. Build your empire, one link at a time. Your dedication will make your future shine. Rise and hustle, don't you quit. Persistence is the key, so stick with it. Stay consistent day by day. Patient steps will pave the way. When it gets tough, just persevere. Your breakthrough moment is drawing near. Every setback's a setup for success. Keep pushing forward, nothing less. Your network is your network, remember that. Stay focused, stay hungry, tip your hat. Rise and hustle, don't you quit. Persistence is the key, so stick with it. Stay consistent day by day. Patient steps will pave the way. When it gets tough, just persevere. Your breakthrough moment is drawing near. You've got this entrepreneur, your dreams are knocking at the door. Rise and hustle, make your mark. Your journey's only at the start.
New day, new dreams rising high. Feel the world turning. Spread your wings, it's time to fly. Mountains seem so tall now, but you got strength to climb so high. Don't stop.
All right, well, hopefully everybody's having a really great Saturday morning. We're going to get started here in about 1 minute. We're going to try to get a few more songs in, so we'll get this one started here, and as soon as the song's over, we'll get started with this morning Flexcast.
Life's a journey, hear the call. Stand up, rise above it all. Stand up, rise above it all.
All right, well, everybody, this is another week at Flexcast. Let me make sure we have all that off. Corey, can you hear me okay? Everything's good? I have to bring you up. There we are. There we go. We can see everything going on today. Hope everyone's having a good time. So, hey, this week's going to be a little bit different. We haven't done this in a long time. We've actually done it probably, I want to say like 6 months ago. We did a Flexcast where it was live and interacting with you guys. So get near your keyboards, get ready to help us because we're going to actually play around and do some stuff together as we kind of build things together as we go through today. So let's do this. Let's get through the basic stuff real quick. Let's see here. Okay, so obviously everything we say every single time is make sure you get people to the Flexcast. or the Flex connection so that they can know everything that's going on and making sure that they are getting that front line of defense. You guys are doing good at that. I really, really think that we can break over 1,000 people in that over the next week. We're going to put a lot of information out to try to drive that, but that will be the goal. So take this morning and say, let's get this group, this incredible community over 1,000 people. That's like the goal for this week. We've been inching toward it, and now this is the week that we're going to do that. So by next Flexcast, let's get that to 1,000 people so that our community continues to grow. All right, let's talk about Flex Update. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on where we are on some things today. But the corporate update call on Monday night, 8 p.m. Central, that's when we get the majority of stuff. We get to do a little bit of reiteration of what we do here. But we also get a chance to kind of give you any updates, any promos, anything that's going on for that coming week. Let's give you a little update, though. I know everyone's looking and waiting to hear. When is 2.1 with Canvas Plus and all the collaborator permissions and the one-click posting? When is that coming? And I will tell you that I feel like we were really close last week, and I just got a new update. We're actually going to be using it today. I got this late last night as we pushed it into our developer environments. And so far, it all looks really good. And that's exciting because that gets us close to getting everything done, right? And so we're excited about getting it out there, but I also want to make sure that it's set up so that we can expand and take the growth patterns the way we need to and have a lot of pressure testing done on it. And so we're going through all that, and I'm pretty excited about where things are right now. So let's do this, Corey. First of all, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff that's interactive today. So, Corey, you need to help me with going through the chat. It's hard for me to see the chat while I'm doing a lot of other stuff. So if we have some good questions, we're going to try to answer those today live. We're actually going to be starting to build things inside of the design editor. So we've gone through a lot of stuff, with the video. I'm not sure if you were on Thursday night. We actually showed you how to build videos live just so you could see how everything works together. We're going to do more of that today, but we're going to do it more on the design side, not necessarily on the video side. And so for that, I'm going to actually pull off of here real quick so I can actually go in and get the monitor open. There you are, Corey. Bright center in the middle of it all.
I don't like it. Turn me off.
All right, so I'm going to go here and get a Ruby going. See, there it is. That's the one I want. All right. And let me push this forward up there. Okay. You can see my screen okay, Corey?
Yes, you took me off like I asked.
All right, here we go, guys. Let's get started on using the design editor. So when you get to Canvas Plus, it's the big button that'll be up here on the left-hand side that replaces your Create button. You have two choices. You can start a new project, or you can use an existing project. And the projects are there just to kind of help keep everything in one place. Now, currently, your projects and your asset managers aren't going and doing much because it really needs Canvas to hold it all together. And so when we push out 2.1, you're going to see that having these projects are really going to be important to separate out what it is that you're working on, keeping all the assets together. Now, you can go back and you can add stuff in your asset manager that you can link it to other projects. You can delete it. You can download them. You can view them. You can listen to them. All of that will be happening inside of your asset manager. It's such a critical part. And I know that today you're sitting there going, well, I can't do anything. I know. That's why it's coming in 2.1, because it hinges on pulling everything into Canvas Plus. Now, the other big thing that we need to know is that there are two editors that are out currently in the 2.1 version. The 2.1 version is going to bring the design editor, and it's going to bring a video editor. And at the top up here, you'll see that there is a toggle at the top from design and video. So video obviously is anything with audio, video, action, movement. Your design is going to be anything that you can think of that would be a static image and layers and filters and all the cool things that you want to do to make posts or ads, even print. And we'll go through that today. So when you get into the design editor, it's very similar in every way to the video editor. You're not having to relearn everything on every editor. They're all almost exactly the same. You're just going to see that in the design editor, you don't see audio and video because that's in the video editor, right? And so what do you have here? Well, the first thing you do is when you have your document sitting over here, you can put any kind of backgrounds or anything you want on this actual background. But if you close it and you see the document, the first thing you can do is you can choose what kind of layout do you want? And then what formats do you want these to be in? Do you want it to be an Instagram profile, photo, story, whatever it is? Okay. And then you can actually set your own width and height. And you can change those to inches, millimeters, pixels, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. And if you're doing print, it's really important to understand DPI. So if I'm doing a business card, I can do that with 150 and 300, no problem. But if I'm doing a billboard, or if I'm doing a brochure that's going to be maybe a bigger piece, I'm going to use the highest DPI I can because that's going to get me the best print quality. And then you also will see that there's a bleed margin. What does that mean? Well, if you're doing anything for print and you want that to not have a border on it, you want it to be a bleed print where it goes all the way to the edge. You can turn that on and it will actually show you that you want to lay your image and everything out to this edge so that it can be cut off. Now, we don't need that. 90% of you will never need that. But we're not here to just build a product for one little simple task of doing social media. This is a task that is going to be able to give you the tools to do whatever it is. And if you think that it's too complicated, just forget about everything that you don't know and just do the things that you do know, which is to do simple basic things. So let's go through the rest of these pieces. You know, I remember a while ago, Corey, that it was right after we launched Virtual Studio and you got the ability to do all the images, that it was going to be awesome if we could just put the logo, just layer the logo on top of the image where it said, you know, made by Virtual Studio. And we have come so much farther than that desire and request. Now, I will say that everything that you use technology-wise, and honestly, it doesn't matter. Even if it's a new social media network that comes out, it takes a little time to learn it. It's a learning curve. Now, here's the great news, is that the editors come with your monthly subscription. There's no additional fee. You don't have to pay to layers and do all the stuff that you're doing. The only time you ever do any kind of credits is when you're actually rendering it out, ready to take it to market. So to put in all the layers and to actually use the editor, it's just part of your subscription. And it doesn't matter if you're on the basic version or if you're on the premium plus. It's just part of your subscription. Just that piece alone is worth over $20 a month. And then this is the crazy thing that people are missing out on all this, is that we have all this value that is really built into the editor, everything else that's going on. So don't lose track of everything. And I actually talking this morning to some distributors, and you know, one of the things that they kept saying was like, well, can it do this? And well, it can do that. And it's like, these are like the rarest things in the world they could possibly do. It's like maybe there's one app in the whole that's specific to do that one thing. And they probably have less than 3,000 or 4,000 people that use it in the whole world. And we worry about that one thing. Now, the funny thing about that is that what they wanted to do, yeah, they could do it here if they became familiar with Ruby and all the things it could do. But they got caught up in the one thing it can't do with a single button. And it's like, if you're not going to spend the time to learn it and to really do that, and you want that one button for every tiny thing, hey, that's possible. And you can literally have 150 subscriptions, and you can pay for each one every month, whether you use it or not. That's the way the world works in AI. That's the problem with the way that AI is right now. And now you see everybody trying to come in and do what we're doing, which is to simplify and to bring it all together. And you see this with a lot of different things out there. And I love it because we get people saying, hey, have you heard of this one? Have you seen that one? And hey, I heard this one can do this too. Great. That's amazing. That just means that we're on the right track. But I can tell you right now, when 2.1 hits your deck, there's nothing in the world that puts it all together like we do. And that's the way that we take the superiority into the marketplace. It's what we call the blue ocean. And it's what we will continue to strive to do. And it's why we're at a fast-paced race against everything. When new technologies are coming and new advances are coming, we're rushing those to your fingertips. And the bones that make this thing the most powerful AI app in the world are built upon a way to expand and take in and take out as we need to, so that we're always on the cutting edge and we're always driving the market and we're always finding ways to make it better. Now, I want to talk one more thing about this before we start to show you how to do this. The design of it. And so I want to address a little bit about how we see the future of Ruby and where it goes. So the majority of everything that Ruby will do at this point moving forward will be hinged around Canvas Plus. Whether you're trying to make just a document that you want, like a letterhead or a communication, an email, maybe you want to make a brochure, maybe you want to make business cards, maybe you want to make a commercial, maybe you're making movie trailers. Whatever it is that you're wanting to create, you're able to do that here. And that's pretty much the easiest way to use this. Yes, we have the ability on all of these little left side menus. We can go in and do the full page views of them. And sometimes those are important. That's why we built them. But it's also important to keep everything working in native work where I never have to leave. And that's why we have the menu bar that brings everything that we can use for whichever canvas we're actually building on. Now, let's talk about how we actually use this incredible editor, and let's go build some things. Now, I have put in some of these images already. If I just click on my images, you can see that I have a way to upload, add files here. If I see more, I can hit these little buttons. I can scroll through them, or I can hit more, and it will pull them all down, and I can just scroll through them. I can look at all my images and look at what graphic files I have here, and I can continue to keep adding them. You can see that I have text, and I can add different types of text, and I can control it. These are just ways to bring simplistic things to the table, so they're just very easy for me to start with. If you go down to shapes, shapes allow us to do all kinds of cool things that we can do, whether I need arrows or boxes and shapes or circles. You can do unbelievable layering. You can do all kinds of stylistic. This is where your creativity can flow. And when you get to stickers, stickers are like, if you want memes and you got all those emojis, the emoticons are all here. You can go through and play with as much as you want. Now, these are things that will expand out as we get going, because I think there's a Ruby set that we can push in that has all the things for Ruby, like the logos that we can use, all the little statements and maybe elements. And this is where we can create an entirely new section for nothing but Ruby. We can also have it to where you can create your own section, and it's all just your stuff. That's about your specific brand. These are the visions for us. But let's talk about what we do right now. Let's start right here with an image. So today we're actually going to be building social media ads to go for a new company called Brilliance. It is a smile brightener, a teeth whitener, competing with High Smile. And we're just wanting to kind of bring out what's important about this brand. And what's important about the brand is it's about affirmations. It's about making sure that people, when they're looking in the mirror at the time when they're brushing their teeth, that this is a time that they can see affirmations about themselves, that they are good enough, worthy enough, pretty enough, and feel great about who they are and build up themselves. It's the point of the company. So that's kind of what we're wanting to do. And we want to build some pieces to go out into the social media market. So let's start with that. So the first thing I might want to do is just kind of lay out the basic side of it. And I might want to start it with an image. So I can drop any image in. And again, if you just pull these little tabs that are in the center, it'll fill up the entire field for you. It adjusts the video, the image, the way that you need it to fit, and you can have it there. Now, if you want it more, you can just keep dragging it, and you'll make the image bigger, and you can kind of keep stretching it out until it fits out, and you've got it positioned the way that you want it. Now, obviously, we're talking about the smile, so that's really something that we're focusing on here. So I think I'm pretty happy with it the way it is. Now, as you all know, I like to keep things very clean. I don't like things hanging over. Now, if we were working on print and we were going to do bleeding, right, I could go back and turn my bleed on here. And you'd see that in this case, I'd actually want to be building it to where this image is going to hang outside the bleed area. Okay, so that's what that is. Okay, so, all right, now that we have this, I want to then start bringing in the elements. And this is where it's so easy for everything to happen. Now, while we're doing this, it's not just about compositing. What's making Canvas Plus amazing is that it gives all of the AI tools to you right in the same time. So let's do this. Let's go to images, and let's just start. I've already started creating images, but I want to do another set. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to say I want a young blonde woman model, a beautiful smile, perfect teeth, laughing with a gentleman, because I'm going to actually put it around it. I like some of these. I'm going to use some of them, but let's do another one. I'm just going to hit generate, and you'll see that we'll go ahead and use Midjourney to do this. And one of the things that's really awesome about this is I don't have to sit here and wait. You know, Midjourney's working in the background. So I can go ahead and leave. I can close this down, and we're going to get a notification when that image is finished, and we can go back and look at them then. But until then, I can just keep working. So now I go into my images, and let's go find some other pieces to it. Number one, I want to bring the actual package in. Okay, so here's this great tube of the product. And I'll make it a little bit bigger, so we'll go ahead and make it bigger, and we'll pull it in. And I can just position it wherever I want that to be. Now, I also have the rotation tool here. I might want to rotate it a little bit, and maybe I'll play with that as I get a little bit further into some of this stuff. But you can play with this, move it around, make it wherever you want. So that's one element. Now, another element that I may want is the actual packaging that goes with it. So I'm going to actually open this up so I can just keep dropping them in. So now I have the packaging here that actually is going with this. So let's take a look at what we have here. So I really don't need the double package. You can see the affirmations that are sitting in the box. Like, this is what's important about it, right? So I want to make sure that we save that, but I don't want to have two boxes. And so I'm going to crop off that one box. And I also want to make sure I just keep everything pretty tight right here. Okay, so I've got everything I need now. And I want that box to be sitting on this corner as well. Now you'll see that I have this little section I didn't cut off because I don't want to cut the other box off. So I'm leaving it there, and I'm going to actually just bring that tube onto the top of it. And there's two ways that you can go about that. Right up here at the top is a place for us to do layers and to control and arrange which layer those things are on. And so I might want to say, just move it backwards. So when I move it backwards, the next layer that's there is now going to be on top. And so now I have it. Like, here's the tube. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cut it, make sure I don't have a bunch of bound boxes outside the area. And again, you guys do this however you want. You'll get better at it as you use it. And I'll put it here now. I want to make sure I cover up this little piece down here at the bottom, though, right? So, and I can't just crop it off because then the box gets cropped. So I got to be a little bit smart about how I do that. So I'm just going to actually grow this tube up a little. I'm just going to push it down. And then I might even bring this up a little bit to where I can cover it. Okay, so now I have it where I want this. And now I can actually go in and start doing text or adding logos or whatever it is that I'm trying to do. Like, there's nothing here that says, oh, you can't do anything special. Just, I mean, you can bring in whatever you want. So I have the logo here. It's not really a good high-res logo. As you can see, it's kind of falling apart. So I'm going to shrink it down, first of all, and get it down to where it looks better. And so I might have a little statement here. I don't want to cover up the teeth, obviously. That's the big part of the picture, right? So I might do that there, or I may actually move these up. Why am I keeping? Oh, there we go. I might move these up, and then I can go and grab Brilliance and bring it a little bit closer. Now, as you see, our image is completed up here. So we can go look at that here in just a second, and you can see that it's doing multiples because all of those images are being broken into different pieces, right? So let's go up here and go to our images. And now we have our new images that we can look at to use. See if there's anything in there we like. I can open up our ability to look at all the different versions. And I really like the ability to do this because I can see what different renditions we have created over here. And if I want to use a different one, I kind of really like this one over here, so I'm going to use this one, okay? To insert it, it really is just an insert button. Actually, let me see if there's anything new up here that I like. I don't mind that one. Okay, let's try maybe this one. Smile's better on that one, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this one here. And if I just go insert, it's going to insert that right into the editor. And I can go in and do whatever it is. Now, I may want to go and create taglines. I can do that with IntelliChat. This is all built in the same place that we want to do this. The first part, though, that I want to do is I'm going to move it out of the way. I can just set it off to the side. I'm going to go back over here to our images. You can see that the new image I just dropped in is here. And by the way, just to switch those out is as easy as hitting replace and finding the image that you want to replace it with. It's that easy to kind of redo things. And if I want to flip it around so she's kind of more on this side of the screen, I can just hit the flip button. And if I want to have a little bit more, I can just grab it until it fills up all of the space on my canvas. So now I've got a totally different person sitting in there. These are obviously going to be way too big, so I can select them both. Got selected, though. This. I can shrink these down. And now I can see that she's talking to somebody. I can see this. And now I can go in and maybe do some text treatments. Just by hitting the text, it's going to drop it in. I chose title because I want it to be the bigger version of things. I'm going to choose my color, and then I'm going to close my fill. I don't need that anymore. But I do want to go and choose what font I want to use. And we have all these fonts already loaded for you. And they have little typefaces that you can see what they look like. Kind of like this one here. It's kind of straight up. Ultimately, for me, I know exactly what I want. I want a really big, chunky font. And so Montserrat Black is where I'm going to go with that. And I kind of want it fairly big. So I'm actually going to go to 32 points. Actually, it's going to be way too big, though. Right? So I'm just going to find the size that I want. Now, the other thing that you can do here is you just take it and shrink it. Okay? You don't have to have the number. You can just fit it to wherever you think is perfect for you. And that's another way to do this. If you're working with a campaign that has everything kind of like structured, then you can use the numbers. Otherwise, you kind of time it. Now, if I just double click it, I can just type over whatever I want here. And I want to say, because you are worthy. That's going to be the line because it's an affirmation about what it is that you're doing. Okay, so there's our tag, our line that we're going to be using here. Obviously, I can't have it sitting over the top of her teeth. Like, that's not going to work, right? I don't want it over her face. So we have to be smart about how we do this. So there's a couple things I can do. One, I can go up here and I can just grow and make it bigger and cut it off and kind of make it to where it's a very interesting scene being cut off, which is okay. That's what I'm going to end up doing probably here. Pull it down. Okay, and now I can go click on this. Now, one of the things that we have is the ability to control all the little things, like how much room is between the lines, okay? How much spacing do we need between paragraphs? How much between each letter do I want to stretch them out? All of these controls are just sitting right inside of the advanced settings of the text box, okay? So you can access any of those. Now, I also may want to sit here and go, you know what? This specific word I want to stress to be a little bit different. I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to actually come up here to my color, and I'm make it a specific color. So now I have, because you are worthy, and the you is now highlighted in a specific color. All of these controls you can do just right here. Now, I think both of these need to be a little bit bigger now, so I'll get those structured right. Now, what's next? What's the next thing that we kind of want to do here? Maybe we should put in our QR code. I'm going to push it down here in the very bottom. So I'm going to pull it down here. Now, I kind of want that to be a little transparent. So I'm just going to kind of hit it where it's just like maybe 70. Let me pull this up so y'all can see it. Just give it a little bit of design to it so that it can show up. So kind of got that. And then the last thing is I might want to put in maybe a little bit of text that talks about what makes it special, right? What makes this a special type of product? So I'm going to use my paragraph just because it's automatically smaller to begin with, thinner font. I am going to go back to my Montserrat font. So I'm going to go find my Montserrat again, keep it in the same family. I do want to make it smaller. I'm going to make it a 6 point, and I'm going to take that to a light. Okay, so now I have my light, and I'm going to put in here. What's special about it? Well, the first thing is it is powered by hydroxy. Okay, so I have that. I want to put this down here maybe. It still looks really big, so maybe I'll go down a little bit smaller. And I can drag this in and clear it that way, but there's also another way if you don't know how to do that. If I hit the line, height, and weight, frame behavior sucks it right up into the size of the object, okay? So I have that sitting off the image. Maybe I'll set these up right here. I think I'm going to actually put them down here at the bottom. And I can see that I also have that little thing I need to cover up the bottom. So I'm going to say powered by hydroxyapatite. And then I also want to do another word. I don't have to go in and do a whole text, all that. I really like this is I can just copy it. It's this little duplicate button right here. I can just do it, and I can have two of these sitting here, and I can start to change this one. So in this, I actually want to start with a bullet point to kind of give me between the two. I'll give a couple spaces, and now I'm going to put no fluoride because that's going to be an important piece, right? So now I've got my text here. I can set it down here at the very bottom, and I have because you're worthy. Guys, this right here could be ready to go, and I'm fine with it. I can pull this back down a little bit, and it's rendered out. It's super simple. If I wanted to put brilliance in there, I could probably find a way to get it in here. Maybe I put it down here at the very bottom. But it kind of competes with everything, and I already have it on here, so I may not put it on there. This is where all of your creativity will come in play. And this is why you with AI is amazing. Now, I haven't used a lot of AI here, but you could go in and change, because you are worthy, you could come up with a million different things in IntelliChat. and you can use those to copy and paste and build all your stuff that you want to. If you're wanting to build a CTA, you want to build headlines, you want to build all of that is just inside of IntelliChat, and it's right at just a click away. So actually what I'll do here, just to kind of throw out the power of this, let's just come down to the bottom and say, create 10 affirmations. And I'll just run it like that. I can pull all the different affirmations that I could possibly want to use right inside my deal. And all I have to do is just find the one I want. Maybe it's I'm worthy of love, respect, and kindness. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll actually do this. I'm going to come here, I'm going to copy back down, create 10 affirmations that deal with maybe smiles. Okay, so maybe I can come up with something like what I had pushed out before. My smile is a reflection of joy within me. Okay, so maybe it's this one that I want to use, right? I can just copy that and just come back and close my window and come right in and start to paste it back in. So I can replace this one and reset it, right? So I might need to make it a little smaller because now I am sitting inside of a longer piece. But I can actually do that very easily and use the AI to generate all kinds of text and images and all that good stuff. So I actually wanted to break that up. I'll put joy down the other line. And now I'm pretty happy with where it is. Okay, so all of this stuff, super easy to use inside the editor. You can put all your stuff together. All your logos, you import them in by just hitting the add file. You can bring in any of the stuff that you want. Maybe you want to bring in, I don't know. Well, I already brought that stuff in. You can bring in anything you want. Like if you wanted to bring in an image, it'll upload those images into your images area. You can use whatever it is that you want to do. Any kind of layers that you can think of, like with shapes. Like we could go in and build a bunch of kind of shapes to pull in behind that. That would be fine too. So I just imported this image. You can do all kinds of imaging, stuff like that if you want to. So you guys can do literally anything you want inside this editor. And the best thing I can tell you is just get in and play with it. Like you can do, crazy stuff. You want to make some memes, you can throw some memes in. Okay. Maybe it's, I have some other ones down here I'm going to build. By the way, you build multiple pages. So once you have everything kind of set up, like you might want to do multiple versions of this. I want to actually do one thing here. I want to put a little bit more room between my paragraph, my lines here. So I got that. Okay. And Corey's probably freaking out going, that is the worst design I've ever seen in my life. But that's
staying muted.
Yeah, I should have been having him do this actually. But you can do multiple pages, guys. So like if you wanted to do another version of it, you can just create another image and you just click the duplicate and it's going to create another page. Okay. And you can have as many pages as you want in the same working file. So I'm actually going to delete these out and I'll bring up the other ones that we had already been playing with. So I've got because the smile can change your world, all the different layouts. These are all different things that you're doing. And one of the other things that you can really spend some time with are dealing with the images. So like, let's go back to my image here. I'm going to crop it back off. I have some effects that I want to do. So if you come under my appearance right here, I'm clicked on the image. I can go in and look at adjustments. Now I can go in and do a couple of things. Like that the teeth are the most important part of it. So maybe I actually want to do, this is kind of a video thing, but I'll put it here. I'm going to duplicate my layer. So I'm just going to make sure they match up. So I have two pictures of my pictures right there, right? So this is one of the things I'll do. I'm going to try to get the bright parts bright and not affect anything else out there. So the first thing I want to do is I really want to just narrow this down to just the area that, by the way, I need to undo that. Okay, so I've got my image. I just messed it all up by moving it. Okay, I'm going to duplicate it and match up. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to just crop it. I just want to really deal with the highlight areas. So I'm just going to pull these up and get into areas that I want to highlight. And so I'm really going to be focusing right around here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and start to play with my adjustments there. And maybe I want my highlights to go brighter. I want to bust my whites up. Maybe I want to go in and do an exposure change so I can bring up a little bit more of that. Okay, so I can do this now. Obviously, it's going to look pretty weird, right? You can see this box that's sitting up there. It has different things with it. So this is where you can start to play with different blending modes, right? So in my images, I can come up here, get off of that, and off of that. And I have a blend mode right here. And I can go in and start playing with different ways of doing it. I can lighten it, multiply it, darken it, whatever it is that you're wanting to play with. And you can start to help minimize these little areas in here. Now, you definitely don't want to scale it. The other thing I like to do is I like to come in and do a blur on top of things. So you can do that under the blur effect. Okay, come underneath there, you hit Gaussian blur. Now, obviously, I don't want it to be a lot of blur. I just want a little tiny bit of blur. So it just kind of gives a little highlight there, but it also will ease up the stuff around it. And now I can have my highlighting sitting on top of my teeth. I want to narrow this down. And just bear with me. All right. So now I'm going to go back to my images. I should have probably tried this a couple of times before I just did it for a demo, but I'll get there. Let me go back to my blur.
I think you're doing great. I'm surprised. You don't need me at all.
Yeah, I don't think that's the fact at all. He's like, this Corey's sitting there going, I just got such great job security. He's so bad. But anyway, I can come in and we can do all kinds of cool things to light it up. You guys just play with it if you want to. But I love the fact like you can come in and do some really good highlights. That's what this is done here. You can go in, you can change the filters that are sitting on your images too. So in this image here, I might want to do maybe I don't want to do that. I want to do so many different ones, by the way. I can make it look like a 70s image. I can come in and make it a Polaroid. We can do all kinds of cool sepia tones, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. You can pull it with these filters that are all just built in. So it's kind of cool. You can come in even with this style to do this. So you can play with it. You can be amazed with all the different pieces that you're doing. And when you're finished, you're just going to highlight the image that you're on. You're going to come up here and you're going to export those and save it. Now, if I save it, it's going to save all of this scene. This is scene. So all of it will be saved. And you can go back and bring it up at any time. All of your stuff that's in the images here will be reloaded back in. All of your images here will be reloaded back in. So you'll have everything just to go back and change whatever it is that you're looking to do. So pretty fun, pretty easy to do things, especially if you're trying to do easy pieces like, oh, hey, I just want to go in and drop the virtual studio logo on something. Well, that's like super, super easy, right? It's like in milliseconds, you can have that done. Here, we'll just do one real quick because it's so easy. Actually, let me do this. Let me just create a new one.
While you're doing that, there was a question. If you wanted to do this exact post, but you wanted to make it all on the same canvas, you want to do a Facebook post, an Instagram reel, basically different layouts and sizes just for images. Each one of these can have their own dimensions, correct?
Right. Yeah. And so let's go into this one here for a second. I can't work at my screen. Okay. Let me pull this back. And let's just kind of work with this one right here. Let's just say that I wanted to take that now towards a different layout. Like I want to go to Instagram story, which is going to bring it in a completely different size, right? Now I've got it here. I'm just going to be able to take it and stretch these back and put them the exact way. All my camera stuff is there. Now, we actually have a trick in how to do this. Yeah, don't need that. That will actually come in the next, I don't know, several weeks after we launch this, that actually automatically do this for you in 4 different formats. It's called auto conversion, and you'll put in your let's say your square post for Instagram. You'll drop it in, and it will make a Facebook post, it'll make a story, and it will resize all the things for you there. And then all you're going to end up doing is just tweaking it. Well, I kind of want this to be moved a little bit more. I want these to be sitting here on the bottom still. But I can make this a little bit bigger maybe. Oh my gosh, grab the right one. And you can make these bigger, obviously. Now I can have a lot more room. And if I want to send those backwards, I can just go up there and send them backwards. I don't know why. All the way to the back already. Okay. Brilliant. So now I can push this into a reel. But yes, this will be easier. We'll get the conversions up that do all that in just a single click. It's a drag and drop. You'll drag it onto it, and the 4 screens will come up, and you'll just export those out. You actually won't even have to export those out. You'll be able to hit the share button up here, be able to share it to whichever area that you want to share it on. This is all in the release of 2.1. You'll see the share button. You'll hit share. It'll open up the modal for you to choose which platforms you want to go to. And then you will just choose Facebook. It'll let you choose whether it's a post, an ad, a reel. And then you'll choose, based on your setup, by the way, it's going to let you know what you can and can't do. So if you're at a 9:16 here, it's going to push it up as a reel. It's not going to let it be a post, since a post has to be square or in a letter. So you'll be able to do all that, post it. You'll connect to your Facebook, and it'll drop it right into your Facebook post, and you're done. Okay, I think the main thing is just to get people in to start playing with these things. You can do whatever you want. All the different formats are there, and you'll change every one of these pages, by the way, will go with whatever the global settings are. These are not going to be completely different for each one of these, because each page is the same global setting. So if you wanted to do different pieces outside of the converter that we'll bring in, you're going to actually create a new one of these for each piece that you want to go and push out. So that's how the editor will work. You get your stuff moving here. You can also jump into your video and do anything over there. If you go to the video, by the way, you'll see that you have a lot more options on your drawer. I don't know why that didn't change. Corey, that's a bug. I think we just found one.
We don't like that.
Yeah, you need to mark that one, because you should see all these here. So we'll come back on that. Go back in. We'll try. Actually, I don't want to go back. I'll choose this one here that we were just in. I'll go to Design Editor. In the video editor, you'll see all of these options as well. If you want to see how those work, guys, last week we did some stuff, but Thursday nights, Flexcast or Visioncast, we went through and built the whole thing just while we were doing the pitch. It's a good way for you to see all the different elements and how you can put them all together. Music, whatever, but everything that you have the ability to do, you can just drop in. I want to insert this image. Great. I can insert it from there. If I want to look at things I've done in the past, I can go through and look at all of my images that I want and drop them in. Just click it, go down and hit insert there, and I can insert that in. I can continue to look at all my stuff. Everything's right there. If I have audio clips that I've already used, those will all be loaded in as well. So if I play it,
I am capable of achieving my goals and dreams.
so I can insert that one in. We can start compositing over and over and over and doing anything that you want. If you wanted to put music in, you can use new music. Again, you don't have to sit here and wait while you're doing this as well. So first of all, music is like super fast for instrumentals. So if you want to do a pop song, let's go find I'll do songwriter, and I'll do C. I can create the preview. It takes seconds to do that. Hit save and insert, and that's going to go ahead and you can hear me. It's going to go ahead and save it, and it's actually going to go ahead and insert that right into my project as well. And so it's super easy to go in, and then you just got to look. I mean, they're all there. Oh, okay, I got my song, got my audio voice.
I am capable of achieving.
Your videos, you can import in videos. You can use some of the stuff that's here just for layering if you want to. Eventually, we will get Unsplash tapped into this. It's not as easy as it seems just to connect it, but Unsplash will be here. What is Unsplash? Unsplash is a royalty-free video and image search engine. And you can go out and bring those in, and you can utilize those inside of the editor. If you're putting a project together, maybe making a music video, you need specific video clips. Obviously, at the end of the day, we want AI to be generating those things for you. If you need something that's not there, sometimes it's just easier to use that stock footage to go grab it, and you can totally go and do that now. So let me. I was actually going to do some other stuff here, but I don't know if it's really necessary. I think everyone's pretty much got this. Now it's just talking about when's it going to be available in your hands is probably the most important thing that most people are asking. So let's going to just address that piece of it. So we believe that obviously you saw another little bug here. They'll go through this over the weekend. We'll find any other little bugs like that. Those are like quick second bugs fixed. The main thing was just the ability to move everything in and around, get everything that you wanted put together. There is a different way of doing the video exports and renders. And so you'll have a way of doing this on the image as well when we release it, but it will kind of work like this. Like if I have this little video down here that I want to push out, let me slide it out here. I don't need that. I'll add a clip. Okay, so I've got the images down here. I'm going to shrink them up. So I have these two images. Now I want to actually export that out. This is going to render video. And you're going to see this render box come up. And I can choose what I want to render out. I can do an MP3 file, an AIF file. Those are audio files. If I want to do a movie or a GIF or an MP4, I'm just going to name it at this point. And so I'll just say test. You'll see that the name will show up over here. And it's going to hit render. It's going to turn into your rendering. You know it's there. It will take just a few minutes to go out and knock it out. And once it's finished, it will load it back into this box. Now, if you read this, we want to move on. We'll notify you when the render is complete. I can hit don't wait, and I can leave. And it's going to finish and come back to go about doing all of that. Did that just okay? I didn't know if that was my internet acting up.
Yeah, I think you're maxing your bandwidth there with all your processing.
Oh yeah, it might be. So anyway, the MP4s take I'm going to say maybe a minute and a half. And so once it's finished, I can play it.
I am capable of achieving my goals and dreams. I am capable of achieving my goals and dreams.
Okay, so
I am
have it all sitting there. If I wanted to do just an MP3, I can do just an MP3, and it's going to be just the audio. Same with AIFF. Now all that's there. If I want to download it, I just click download. It's going to go ahead and download it for me, and I'll have that video to go do whatever I want. On the other side, now one of the things that's really I think going to be pretty cool for the design editor on the export is you'll have PNG, JPEG, TIFF. You also have PDF. You'll be able to push all those into a single PDF file. The other thing that's really cool that you'll be able to do is you'll be able to choose PowerPoint or Keynote, so you can build your slides there and export those out through a Keynote or a PowerPoint. All of that you can be building in there. Now you can also in the design, by the way, we didn't go through a lot of that, but you can set your own settings on how wide you want those to be. So if I wanted to set up and do a landing page, I could set this over to pixels or inch or whatever. I would let you know it. But let's say I want to do a 1920 by let's say 1080. So I can do this, and I can set my canvases up to match into this. I wouldn't need to have a high DPI because, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And now I can go in and I can start to layer in and build a landing page that's going to be set up into those dimensions. So you can go and play with a lot of the different ways that you want to put things together. And your canvas will just sit there and just keep moving around and exporting it out the way you want to. So we're close. I'm going to say that I thought we were like 98% that we were going to be good with it. We ran into an issue just trying to get through the little hurdles of bandwidth. So that was another huge one. One thing that everybody does need to understand is that this is all being done in your browser. You're not having to download and put something on your computer. You're not going to go, you know, have an app onto anything. It's all happening within your browser. Now, there are limitations to that in the browsers that are out there today. With the capabilities of doing this, it needs to be a Chromium-based browser. So you need to be using Chrome, Microsoft Edge. Those are Chromium-based. They will be able to do the video editing and the design. Now, the design actually works fine in all the browsers. So you don't have to worry about the browser. But for video, you do. And if you aren't on that browser, it's going to let you know. It's just going to say this browser is not, you know, what's the word, Corey? It's not, it's been that long week. Compatible, exactly. And you will then be told, you know, to go and use Chrome or Microsoft Edge. So these are the limitations that you have going through it. It's not that big of a limitation, to be honest. If you don't like Chrome, I get it. I was the last one to come over to Chrome. I still use Firefox for a lot of stuff. I use Safari for some things, but it's not that big a deal for me to move into Chrome to actually get to the video editor. So those are the things. A couple other major things that have been happening, I think that are pretty important. And I want to jump over to, let me stop this for just a second and go to Flexcast here. We're going to get to Flexing next, but one of the things that we will have that I think is really, really a big deal, and we spend a lot of time doing this, and it's very tricky, but it'll be great for us in the long term anyway, is when we're dealing with IntelliChat on the mobile version. And anybody that has been trying to use it on mobile, they're probably sitting there going, oh, this is just really difficult. And it's hard because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on inside of IntelliChat that you're trying to push to a very small screen. And so we actually have gone through and we have done a lot of this this week. And when we launch it back out, you're going to see that we have an entirely new look for the mobile version of Ruby. So it's not a mobile app, but the responsiveness is going to work a lot like our app will. When you click IntelliChat, it's going to be able to really open up a new way and look and feel. So when I click persona, I can actually go and find my personas. I can set my voices. All this stuff is very easy now to do. And then I can get them out of the way. Same thing with modules. You'll be able to choose your module, find which one you want, and fill it out, and then get it out of your way. So these are all new. They're changed. Even the way that the drawer works now is there. All of your conversations. Anchoring can be there. Obviously, we have to have one that is controlling anchoring prompts is there. The same thing with your editor. Editor is capable of being used as well. So all that's really great. Ability to choose from all of your stuff and get it out of the way. And then your box down here is great too for even bringing in your vision. All of this capable inside your mobile version of this now. And I think it's going to make life so much easier for so many people. I mean, I literally have been using this on my phone so much more over the last 24 hours. And it's great. Like, it works so well. And this was the one piece that really was just very difficult to use on mobile. We have, done. So it's really simple to go in and to get everything set up. You'll see that it will stay in the responses, staying inside of the boundaries so that you can see it and you can scroll it on whole, have everything that you want, your little widgets and all that good stuff. I know me more about you. So very, very easy to use inside of your phone. And I know that was a major issue. So anyway, these are the big changes that are coming. You can see that this all stays sticky, so I can create a new chat. I can do new personas. I can do new modules, whatever it is that I want to do. I can do that and not have to leave and not have to do anything else. So hope that you guys can enjoy that. Make sure that that's a really big deal that people were struggling with. I know that was a big concern for us. We've addressed that. That's done. We have collaborators that are done. And let me tell you, with all the permissions that you now have inside of the collaborators, it is going to be very, very important, I think, for the future of people who are using this in all the different ways. So to be able to go into it's not there, collaborators, you can now break this down, by the way, into so many different features that you can add, take away. Do I want someone to be able to have access to this or not? I can just block them, right? I can go through and do all kinds of things with the word spaces. And the best thing that we don't have here in this dev here, but underneath this permission type, you're going to have the ability to set an amount of words and credits for each person that you're bringing in as a collaborator. So if you're sitting down saying, okay, I want someone to come in and I want them maybe to demo this, well, that's a good way to do it. Bring them in as a collaborator, give them a set number of your words and credits that they can use. And then once they're done, they're done. The only way that they're going to be able to continue to create more stuff outside of the free stuff would be for them to, come back and ask for you, and you can give them more words and credits. The same thing about this limiting, like a client, how much the client's using, or maybe you have a person who's working it, like my daughter, and I don't want her using all of my credits because she would sit here for 12 hours and have every meme and every video on TikTok done. So I might want to limit how much that has. You'll have the ability to do all that, but down to every feature. So if I want someone that can come in and maybe only do text, I don't have to worry about them using my credits. I can just block them off from all of the different aspects, and they will not be able to generate anything else inside of your workspaces. And so this is a very big deal. It's been a long process to get there, but I'm excited to be bringing that out because I think that will actually help also in the agency worlds and as you go out to do the main thing. So you do have limits on those workspaces and on collaborators. So you have 1, 3, 5, and 10. So the Premium Plus package will have 10. That will also have 500,000 words. It'll also come with 300 credits. And so there's a lot of credits that are built in there. And by the way, guys, just to remember too, that we do have a lot of free stuff. There actually was one more thing in the image lab that you can be looking forward to. We will be having another image piece come through. This will be called Flux. So Flux AI is actually coming in as another one of our image generators. It is a 1 credit image generator that does really great stuff, almost comparable most of the time to that of the Journey. And it's very easy to use. So we're excited about bringing Flux in. And on the video side, we're actually bringing another video generator in too to go with Luma. And that will be Clean AI. Clean AI will also be integrating in. Those over the next few weeks, you'll see those starting to come in. And then, of course, we're still just waiting on SOAR to drop. As soon as they give us the APIs, we're going to have that available to you guys within hours after that happens. And we're always just looking for new stuff that's coming in. So all that you can kind of go through. I've gotten a lot of long-winded stuff today. Sorry. Not the top of my game maybe today, not the best Flexcast ever, but we're hopefully getting some good information to you so that you can use it. Let's go and do our flexing real fast because this is going to be a really good flex. So this week I was so excited to see a couple of people doing the right things and posting into the Flex Connection so people can see it. Chris Booth, congratulations to you for doing that. Was glad to see people just out there doing all of this great meetings and Zooms and just showing people how they are going and building this right now and sharing it. And there was another one. I haven't done two ever again before, but I'm going to today because I thought Tanya Farron also was doing that. She does a masterclass on LinkedIn. I don't know if it's every day or every week, but it's a consistent basis. And she's been very committed to doing it. And congratulations. So both of you guys get 50 credits for doing the right thing. Hope you enjoy building those things with that. Now, for Ruby Tunes, this week, we had a lot more participation, and I know that we'll get even more when we get the Canvas Plus out. But this week's winner, Paul Hansen. Congratulations to you. And it's so good to see new names throwing into this thing all the time. So congratulations to Paul Hansen. Kurt Touche, another great winner, Catherine Donovan, and Emmanuel Cazada. Good job, guys. Amazing stuff. I mean, Catherine and Cindy Marshall, every week you guys are doing incredible things. Like, you guys could win every single week, but we love your participation. We love letting people see and hear you're our motivators to that. And so I do appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Larry Lewis, you're the same. Just always participating, dropping in great stuff. But it's so good to see new people coming in and winning. So congratulations, Paul Hansen. That's 50 credits to you and 20 credits to Kurt, Emmanuel, and Catherine. All right, talk about our Flex profile for the week. And I really am excited about this because Seth Rico always pushing stuff up, and it's really motivating. And I love to see that. He's from Redwood Falls, Minnesota, USA. So congratulations to Seth. You are the Flex profile winner of the week. That's 100 credits that are going to go to you. And so thank you for everything that you're doing, and congratulations on this week's Flex profile. All right, Corey, it's 11:06. I'm 6 minutes over. Did I miss anything, or is there any major questions that I need to do? I said we were going to do interactive stuff, and I didn't do any interactive stuff today. So I don't know. Maybe I was tired today.
I was doing the interactive stuff in the chat. So I think we're good.
Okay.
All right. I answered most of the questions. So, yeah, I think we're good.
All right. So this is what I would love for the people in the chat right now. If you want to see Corey actually designing stuff next week in Flexcast, throw in some hearts and some fire and make that happen. If I get 30 of those from 30 different people, I have to say that because I know that Sonia will put in 30 of them by herself. So let's do 30 people, put that in. I'm going to have Corey do this whole thing next week. He's super excited about it. Don't let him down. Throw in the fire, throw in the hearts, and make sure that you get that so that you can see Corey do his little design in this next week. So throw that in, and while we are doing that, we're going to leave you with some great music from Ruby Music. I'm going to do Mother's Heartbeat. I thought it was a great song. And so here we go. You all have a great week. Be sure to get on Monday, and we won't hold this. I can just tell you the day that it's ready, that we feel good to go, we will give a shout out probably an hour before on the Flex Connection, and then we will launch it out. So stay tuned in to what's going on. You all have a great weekend, and keep sharing Ruby.
Gentle whispers in the night. Feel the love take flight. Life is growing deep inside. Mother's joy we can hide. Heartbeat strong and true. Mama always here for you.
Dreams in your pocket, fire in your soul, a world of potential, it's time to take control. Networks your playground, affiliates your game. With each connection made, you're climbing to fame. Rise and hustle, don't you quit. Persistence is the key, so stick with it. Stay consistent day by day. Patient steps will pave the way. When it gets tough, just persevere. Your breakthrough moment is drawing near. Rejection's not failure, it's a chance to grow. Learn from each no, let your knowledge flow. Build your empire, one link at a time. Your dedication will make your future shine. Rise and hustle, don't you quit. Persistence is the key, so stick with it. Stay consistent day by day. Patient steps will pave the way. When it gets tough, just persevere. Your breakthrough moment is drawing near. Rejection's not failure, it's a chance to grow. Learn from each no, let your knowledge flow. Build your empire, one link at a time. Your dedication will make your future shine. Rise and hustle, don't you quit. Persistence is the key, so stick with it. Stay consistent day by day. Patient steps will pave the way. When it gets tough, just persevere. Your breakthrough moment is drawing near. Every setback's a setup for success. Keep pushing forward, nothing less. Your network is your network, remember that. Stay focused, stay hungry, tip your hat. Rise and hustle, don't you quit. Persistence is the key, so stick with it. Stay consistent day by day. Patient steps will pave the way. When it gets tough, just persevere. Your breakthrough moment is drawing near. You got this entrepreneur, your dreams are knocking at the door. Rise and hustle, make your mark. Your journey's only at the start.